Смешили.
Hey everybody, welcome to Studio 64. My name's David. I've been searching the interzones for some more science, space and tech news to share with you, and I came across this over at rt.com. This should be entertaining. Yes, record bribery case brought to Russian court. 2 Moscow investigators have been charged with extorting the equivalent of $181 million US in cryptocurrency from suspects. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Dear, oh dear. A Moscow region court is to hear a case involving the biggest bribe in Russia's modern history. The judicial authority announced on its website on Thursday. The suspects are officers with the Russian Investigative Committee's Moscow District Office. Now, according to court documents, one of the suspects, Major Marat Tambiev, was soliciting a bribe from suspects in a 2022 cybercrime case. Allegedly, of course, at this point. At the time, the Russian law enforcement authorities were cracking down on the Russian branch of an international cybercrime syndicate known as the Infraud Organization. Huh. And how appropriately named. Fascinating. Yes, the group was involved in trafficking and unauthorized use of credit card data, personal credit card and online banking information theft, and illegal trade of that data. Now, the actions of the 4 syndicate members detained in Russia in 2022 inflicted damage worth 1 billion rubles, or $11.4 million, according to the authorities back then. Now, Tambiev, who was heading his district office at the time, demanded the hackers hand him over 2,718 bitcoins. That sum is equivalent to roughly 181 million in current Bitcoin prices. Now, according to the Russian media, the sum is the biggest known bribe ever received in Russia's modern history. Absolutely fascinating. Now, as usual, I'll leave the link to the main article below the video so you can pop in and check out some of these embedded links. It's a very interesting read. Just to, everyone says, oh, you must be a fan of Pooty Poots. Not really. I just like to see how the other half looks at things too, as well as Western media. And that way you can get a fair idea of, let me put it this way. I'm excused for the crudity of the expression, but if you look at Western media, then you look at media from other parts of the world, just take a deep breath and see whose bullshit smells the most. Fascinating. Another suspect in the bribery case, an investigator identified as Kristina I can't even pronounce it, sorry. Lyakovanenko illegally took several electronic data storage devices used by the hackers and seized by the law enforcement officials and handed them over to Tambiev to transfer the bitcoins stored on them to his crypto wallets. Now, in return, the suspects had promised not to confiscate the rest of the hackers' cryptocurrency assets worth 14 billion rubles, or 159.16 million. So basically, they almost pretty much went halvesies, which should have been forfeited in favour of the government, according to the Russian media. Now, the cybercrime syndicate members, who were all eventually sentenced to between 2.5 and 3 years behind bars, but only in the form of suspended sentences, reported the bribe to the Russian Federal Security Services, or the FSB. Yeah, now, you're looking at 181 million, 160 million, and everyone goes, well, that proves that Russia's a corrupt oligarchy or whatever the case is. Yeah. Are we forgetting Sam Bankman-Fried and his little bit of entertainment? How many billions? Did they disappear? That's what I say. I'm not taking sides here. I'm just looking at them both and going, don't worry about the amounts of money. Does that mean they're both just as bad as each other? Fascinating, isn't it? Allegedly, of course. Tambiev was then arrested in March of 2022. Both he and Lyakovenko denied their guilt. Now, the Infraud organization was founded in 2010 by a Ukrainian national, of course it was. Svatoslav Bodar, I can't even speak today. My brain's operating on half a Biden.
Oh, bitch, use your words!
Bodarenko, the US, close enough. The US Justice Department stated in 2017 that the organization had over 10,000 registered members all over the world and was the largest cyber fraud enterprise prosecuted by the US authorities. Now, in 2018, the US indicted 36 members, suspected members, of the organisation for their alleged roles in the group's racketeering conspiracy. According to the Justice Department, or the Injustice Department, depending on whose side you're on, the group's criminal activities resulted in losses worth $530 million. Now, that's very, very interesting, isn't it? Very, very interesting indeed. Again, all alleged at the moment, but just fascinating to see it happening on both sides of the planet. Absolutely incredible. All right, well, my name is David. Thanks for joining me for another Studio 64 Science, Space and Tech News update. I shall see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. If you're up for it, drop a comment down below the video. I'd love to hear what you think. All right, take care. And as I always say, if you can't be good at it. And as I also always say,
my nipples are very sensitive.